My sister was charging strangers $300 a night to stay in my beach house while I paid every single bill. For 6 months, she pocketed thousands of dollars from my property, and my parents helped her do it. When I found out, I didn't just take back my house, I destroyed their entire illegal operation in one move that left them owing $8,000 to a furious bride's family. This is the story of how I learned that sometimes the people who claim to love you most are the ones who will betray you worst. I'm Stella, and what happened between my family and me changed everything I thought I knew about loyalty and trust. At 32, I had worked my way up to a decent salary, saved every penny I could, and finally bought my dream, a beach house right on the Florida coast. It wasn't massive, but God, it was perfect. The living room windows looked straight out at the ocean, and there was this little deck where I'd sit every morning with my coffee, watching the waves roll in like they'd been doing it forever. That house became my escape from everything, work stress, city noise, all of it. My weekend sanctuary. My parents, Robert and Margaret, are in their early 60s. Dad's back gave out after decades in construction, leaving him on disability payments that barely cover the basics. Mom works part-time at a grocery store, but the money's never enough. They've struggled financially for years, and watching them worry about every bill broke my heart. When I bought the beach house, I'll never forget their faces when I handed them a spare key. "You can use this whenever you want," I told them. "Consider it your getaway too." Dad actually cried. I had never seen my father cry before, not once in 32 years. That moment made every sacrifice worth it. They started going maybe once a month, sometimes bringing my younger sister Laura and her husband Ryan. Laura's 28, works at a dental office, and has always been the one in our family who expects things handed to her. She's never had to struggle the way our parents did, never had to save for months just to afford something nice. Ryan works at some warehouse, and they're constantly complaining about money, even though they both have steady jobs. The arrangement worked perfectly. My parents got their peaceful getaway, and I felt good knowing the house wasn't sitting empty most of the time. Everyone was happy. Then everything changed with one phone call. A year ago, I got a call from a headhunter about a customer service director position in Portland, Oregon. The salary was almost double what I was making in Florida, plus incredible benefits and room for advancement. The catch? I'd have to move across the entire country, from the Florida coast to the Pacific Northwest. I spent weeks thinking about it, weighing the pros and cons. Finally, I called my parents to talk through the opportunity. "That's wonderful, honey," Mom said, and I could hear the genuine pride in her voice. But her tone changed completely when I mentioned having to sell both my apartment and the beach house to fund such a major move. "Would you consider maybe not selling the beach house?" she asked, and there was something different in her voice. Something almost desperate. "Your father and I have gotten so used to going there. It's become really important to us." Dad jumped in on the extension. "We could take care of it for you, Stella. Make sure it's maintained, keep an eye on things. We love that place so much." My chest tightened listening to them. They were getting older, they didn't have much, and this beach house was probably the nicest thing they'd ever had access to in their entire lives. How could I take that away from them? "Okay," I said. "I won't sell it." The relief in their voices was immediate and overwhelming. "Thank you, honey. Thank you so much. We'll take such good care of it for you." So instead of buying a house in Portland like I'd originally planned, I settled for a nice apartment. Don't get me wrong, it was a good place, but I could have had a house with a yard and a garage if I'd sold the beach property. Still, seeing my parents' happiness felt worth the sacrifice. I started my new job, and life in Portland exceeded every expectation. Better pay, better opportunities, better future prospects. I was building something real out there. Every couple of weeks, I'd call my parents, and they always mentioned their beach house trips. "We were just there last weekend," Mom would say cheerfully. "Laura and Ryan came with us. We had such a wonderful time." "That's great, Mom. I'm glad you're getting good use out of it." "We are, honey. We really are. Thank you again for letting us keep it." This went on for about a year. I was settling into Portland, making friends, advancing at work, building a new life. Sometimes I miss the beach house, miss those quiet mornings with coffee and ocean waves, but knowing my parents were enjoying it made the sacrifice feel meaningful. I kept paying the property taxes, the utility bills, the maintenance costs. None of it was cheap, but I figured it was worth their happiness. Then I got the phone call that shattered everything I thought I knew about my family. It was Greg, the realtor who'd helped me buy the beach house. We'd stayed loosely in touch over the years, holiday cards, occasional emails about the local market. "Hey Stella, I hope Portland's treating you well. I have a question about your beach house." "Sure, what's up?" "I was browsing vacation rental websites yesterday, and I came across something weird. Someone named Laura is listing your beach house for rent. I thought maybe you'd asked her to manage it as a rental property, but the listing makes it sound like she owns the place." "My sister Laura." My hands started shaking before I even processed what he was telling me. "Can you send me the link?" "Of course. I'm texting it to you right now." When that text came through and I clicked the link, I felt like someone had punched me in the stomach. There it was, my beach house. Photos of every room, every piece of furniture I'd personally picked out and paid for. The deck where I used to drink my morning coffee. The living room where I'd watched countless sunsets. And right at the top, Laura's phone number as the contact. The listing advertised weekend rentals, vacation stays, and special events at $300 per night, with higher rates for holidays and peak seasons. But the reviews made me physically sick. Dozens of them, going back at least 6 months. "Had the most amazing weekend here. Laura was so responsive and helpful. The house was exactly as advertised. Already booking our next stay. Karen M. We spent Christmas week here and it was absolutely magical. Laura was great to work with and very accommodating. 5 stars. Heather L. Christmas week. My family had told me they spent Christmas at the beach house as a family. They didn't mention renting it to complete strangers for the holidays. But the review that really got me was this one: "We're already dreaming about having our wedding here." Laura mentioned the property is available for events and special occasions. The oceanfront setting would be absolutely perfect for an outdoor ceremony. Can't wait to discuss details. Morgan and Austin. I sat there staring at my laptop screen, trying to process what I was seeing. My sister was making money off my property. My parents knew about it. They had to know. And they were all lying to me every single time we talked. I had to test this somehow. I called Mom immediately. "Hi honey, how are things in Portland?" "Good, Mom." "Hey, I was thinking about taking a vacation next week. Maybe flying back and staying at the beach house for a few days. It's been so long since I've been there." Complete silence on the other end. Then I heard shuffling sounds, like she was moving to another room. "Oh, well, that would be nice, dear. But Laura and Ryan are staying there next week. They needed a little getaway. You know how stressed they've been with work lately." More lies. While she was talking, I pulled up Laura's rental calendar on my laptop. The house was booked by someone named Anderson for the entire week. Oh, okay. Maybe the week after then. Well, I'm not sure about their plans exactly. Maybe you should call them directly to coordinate. She was trying to get off the phone. I could hear the nervousness in her voice now that I knew what to listen for. "Actually, Mom, I changed my mind. I think I'd rather go somewhere different for vacation. Maybe Hawaii or something." The relief in her voice was obvious and immediate. "Oh, that sounds wonderful, dear. Much more exciting than our little beach house anyway." She hung up quickly, saying she had to start dinner. I sat there staring at my phone, the truth hitting me like a freight train. My family was lying to me. Not just Laura, my parents too. They were all in on it, all benefiting from my property while I paid every bill like an idiot. I called Greg back immediately. "I saw the listing. This is really messed up. I figured something wasn't right when I saw it. What do you want to do? I can't believe they're doing this behind my back. I've been paying all the bills while they make money off it." "Stella, you could take legal action if you wanted. What they're doing is essentially theft, using your property to generate income without your knowledge or consent." I don't want to sue my family. I understand completely. But you have other options. Let me dig through my contacts and see what I can find out. Maybe I can figure out when they have the house booked next, and you could confront them with proof they can't deny. For 2 weeks, I couldn't stop thinking about the betrayal. Every time I looked around my Portland apartment, I thought about the house with a yard I could have had if I'd sold the beach property. Every time I paid rent, I thought about the mortgage payments I could have been making on my own place instead of subsidizing my family's lies. I was being taken advantage of by the people I trusted most, and it hurt deeper than I ever expected. Greg called back exactly 2 weeks later. Stella, I've got information. Are you sitting down? Yeah, what is it? Your sister has the house booked for a wedding. A big one. My friend who works with event planners heard about it through the grapevine. They're expecting about 100 guests. It's happening in a month, and they're charging serious money for it. We're talking thousands of dollars. Cold anger settled in my chest. They weren't just renting the house for quiet weekend getaways. They were running a full-scale business operation out of my property, hosting major events and charging premium rates. Greg, I need you to do me a favor. Can you find me tenants? People who want to rent the house long-term? I can definitely do that. What's your timeline? I want them living there before this wedding happens. Understood. Give me a week or 2. Good. And Greg? Don't tell anyone about this conversation. Not yet. 2 weeks later, Greg called with perfect news. I found you a couple. Cameron and Claire. They're both freelancers who work online and want to rent a beach house for 6 months while they figure out their next move. They're willing to pay good money for the right place. Perfect. I'll fly out there myself to meet them and handle the lease signing. I used vacation time and booked a flight back to Florida without telling anyone I was coming. I hadn't been back since moving to Oregon over a year ago, and I hadn't spoken to my family about visiting. This was going to be very interesting. The first thing I did after landing was drive straight to the beach house. I still had my original keys, but I wanted to see the property and make sure nothing had changed. When I pulled into the familiar driveway, the house looked exactly the same from the outside. My house. That I owned. That I'd been paying for while my family made money off it behind my back. I called the locksmith that same day and had all the locks changed. Every single one. Then I met with Greg and the potential tenants at a coffee shop nearby. Cameron and Claire seemed like genuinely nice people. They understood this was a complicated family situation and weren't fazed by it. Greg explained that your family might not be happy about new tenants moving in, Claire said diplomatically. We're okay with that. We really love the house and the location, and we're not easily intimidated by family drama. Good, because this might get ugly before it gets better. They signed a 6-month lease that afternoon, paying the entire amount in advance. I gave them my contact information and Greg's, told them to call immediately if there were any problems with my family. Then I flew back to Portland and waited for the explosion. 2 days after returning to Portland, my phone started going absolutely crazy. First Laura calling, then Dad, then Mom. I let every single call go to voicemail. By afternoon, the text messages started flooding in. Laura, Stella, what the hell is going on? Our keys don't work at the beach house. Dad, Stella, we need to talk immediately. There are strangers living in your house claiming they have a lease. Mom, honey, please call us back. We went to the house to prepare for our guests, and there's a couple there who says they live there now. Please call. I turned my phone to silent and went about my evening routine. Let them sweat. Let them wonder what was happening and how much I knew. The messages kept coming all day and into the night. Laura, I know you're getting these messages. Those people said they have a lease. A lease. Stella. What did you do? Mom, Stella, this is serious. We have commitments we need to honor. People are depending on us. Please call us back immediately. Ryan, Stella, this is Ryan. Laura is freaking out. What's going on with the house? I waited until almost midnight to finally answer when Mom called for the dozenth time. Stella, thank God you answered. What is happening? Who are these people in your house? Her voice was shaky, almost panicked. They're my tenants, Mom. I rented out my house to long-term tenants. What? But we use that house. You said we could use it whenever we wanted. Yeah, I said you could use it. I didn't say you could run a business out of it and charge people money. Dead silence on the other end. I don't know what you're talking about. Mom, cut the crap. I know about Laura's rental business. I've seen the website, read all the reviews, seen the booking calendar. I know you've all been lying to me for months. More silence, then heavy breathing. Stella, we can explain this. I'm sure you can. But first, let me ask you something. Were you planning to tell me about the wedding? What wedding? The wedding for 100 people that Laura booked at my house. The one that's supposed to happen in 5 days. I heard her talking to someone in the background, probably Dad. Stella, listen to me. We needed to make some extra money. You're doing so well with your new job and we're struggling here. We thought you wouldn't mind helping us out. I wouldn't mind. Mom, I've been paying the property taxes, the utilities, the maintenance, the insurance, everything. While you guys have been pocketing rental income from my house. And you didn't think I'd mind? We were going to tell you about it eventually. When? After you made enough money to buy your own beach house? She was quiet for a long moment. Then her voice changed, got harder and more demanding. Stella, you need to get rid of those tenants right now. We have a wedding this weekend. We already got $3,000 as a deposit, and we'll get another $2,000 when the wedding happens successfully. $5,000. For one weekend. At my house. Well, that sounds like your problem, Mom. Our problem, Stella. This is serious. We spent that deposit money already on expenses. If we can't deliver the venue, they'll want their money back plus damages for ruining their wedding. Then you better figure out how to get that money back. I could hear her starting to cry. Please, Stella, you have to help us fix this. Can't you ask your tenants to leave for just one weekend? We'll pay them for the inconvenience. Absolutely not. Stella, please. These people are threatening to sue us if we can't provide the venue. The bride's father is a lawyer. That's what happens when you take money for something you don't own, Mom. I hung up on her. My hands were shaking, but I felt vindicated for the first time in months. Finally, they knew that I knew exactly what they'd been doing. The phone kept ringing constantly. Laura, Dad, Mom again, even Ryan. I ignored all of them. Then the text messages escalated. Laura, Stella, you're literally ruining our lives. We need this money. How can you do this to your own family? Dad, your mother is beside herself crying. How can you be so heartless to the people who raised you? Laura, the bride's father is threatening to sue us for fraud. Fraud, Stella. You're going to get us arrested. Mom, please, honey, we'll do anything you want. Just help us this one time and we'll never ask for anything again. I turned my phone completely off and went to bed. For the first time in weeks, I slept really well. The next morning, I had 17 missed calls and a dozen voicemails. I listened to just one, from Mom. Stella, it's Mom, and I'm begging you. The bride's family is demanding their money back plus a cancellation fee because we're canceling so close to the wedding date. They want $8,000 total. We don't have that kind of money. Please, you're the only one who can fix this now. $8,000. They were in deep financial trouble. Part of me felt bad for a split second. But then I remembered all the lies, all the months of paying bills for a house they were secretly profiting from. All the times Mom thanked me for letting them use it while Laura was advertising it online to strangers. I called Mom back. I'm not giving you $8,000. Stella, please. We're desperate. They're threatening to sue us for everything we have. You should have thought about that before you started taking money for something you couldn't guarantee to deliver. We thought we could guarantee it. It's been working fine for months. Because I didn't know about it. But I do now. So this is punishment. You're punishing your own family. I'm protecting my property, Mom. That's all I'm doing. Your father might lose the house. We'll have to take out a loan. We can't afford to pay this back. That hit me for a second. But then I remembered this was entirely their choice. They chose to lie to me. They chose to take money they might not be able to pay back. That's not my fault, Mom. You're our daughter. And you're supposed to be my parents. Parents who don't lie to their children and steal from them. I hung up and blocked all their phone numbers. I was done with this conversation and done with their manipulation. A week later, my Aunt Sandra called, Mom's sister who lives in Tampa. Stella, I heard what happened with your parents and the beach house situation. They called me crying, saying you screwed them over and cost them $8,000. I told Sandra the entire story from beginning to end. When I finished, she was quiet for a very long time. I had no idea they were doing that to you. Stella, I am so sorry. Your mother made it sound like you just decided to be cruel to them for no reason. They've been lying to me for months, Sandra. Making money off my house while I pay all the bills like an idiot. That's absolutely terrible. I can't believe they would do that to their own daughter. It felt so good to have someone in the family understand my side of the story. A few days later, I got a call from yet another unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Stella? It was Mom, and she was sobbing. We're in real trouble. We had to tell the bride and groom that we couldn't provide the venue. We had to put $8,000 on the credit card to pay them back. The interest rate is 24%. We'll never be able to pay this off. She was crying harder now. We're going to lose everything. The house, the car, everything. Please, you have to help us. You're our daughter and we need you. I'm your daughter who you lied to for months. We were wrong. We know we were completely wrong. But please, we're begging you. $8,000 is nothing to you with your new salary. Nothing to me? I worked hard for every dollar I make. It's not nothing, Mom. And even if it was, why should I pay for your mistakes? Because we're family. Family doesn't lie to each other, Mom. Family doesn't steal from each other. She couldn't answer that. Mom, I gave you guys something really valuable. Free use of a beautiful beach house whenever you wanted it. Do you know what that's worth? Thousands of dollars a year in vacation costs. And instead of being grateful for that gift, you decided to get greedy and turn it into a business. We needed the money. Then you should have asked me for help. If you were struggling financially, you could have talked to me instead of going behind my back. Would you have said yes? That question stopped me for a moment. Would I have let them rent out my house if they'd asked permission? I don't know. Maybe. But at least you would have been honest about it, and we could have worked something out together. Please, Stella. We're sorry. We'll never do anything like this again. You're right. You won't. Because you don't have access to my house anymore. What do you mean? I mean the house is rented to tenants now. Long-term tenants with a lease. You can't use it anymore. The crying stopped immediately. Her voice got ice cold. Fine. We'll fight this. We'll get a lawyer and fight you for access to that house. Go ahead. I'd love to see you explain to a judge how you've been illegally renting out someone else's property for months. She hung up on me. Over the next few days, I got more calls from random numbers. Laura, Ryan, even Dad tried calling from different phones. I didn't answer any of them. Then text messages started coming from various numbers. Stella, this is Laura. You've completely destroyed our lives. We had to take out a loan to pay back the wedding people. Mom and Dad are going to lose their house because of you. This is Dad. I never thought my own daughter could be so heartless and selfish. We raised you better than this. Stella, it's Ryan. Laura is having panic attacks every day. You need to fix this mess you created. I blocked every number as the messages came in. A week later, Sandra called me again. Stella, I wanted to give you an update. Your mother is telling everyone in the family that this is all your fault. She's saying you forced them into this situation by being selfish about the house. Let her say whatever she wants. Anyone who knows the real story will see through her lies. I've been telling people what really happened. Your cousin Eric was absolutely shocked. He said he can't believe they would do that to you. Thanks for sticking up for me, Sandra. It means a lot. 2 weeks later, Mom called from yet another unknown number. I was getting tired of this game, but I answered anyway. Stella, we're drowning in debt. We need that $8,000 to pay off the credit card. Then maybe you should have thought about that before you started your little illegal business. Her voice changed again, got nasty and vindictive. You know what? We don't need you. We'll figure this out ourselves. And when we do, don't expect us to forgive you for abandoning your family. I don't expect anything from you anymore, Mom. Good. Because you're not getting anything from us ever again. You're selfish and ungrateful, and we're done with you. Finally, something we can agree on. She hung up. I waited for more calls and messages, but they stopped completely. I think they finally got the message that I wasn't going to cave to their pressure. I called Greg to check on Cameron and Claire. They're absolutely wonderful tenants, he told me. No problems whatsoever. They love the place and take great care of it. They're already asking about extending their lease. What about my family? Any more trouble from them? Nope. I think your sister tried to drive by once to look at the house, but that's it. I think they finally realized they're not getting access back. That was 6 months ago. Cameron and Claire extended their lease for another full year. They pay me $2,500 every month, which has made my life in Portland significantly more comfortable. I was able to start saving money again and even put a down payment on a small house here. My parents and Laura haven't contacted me since that last nasty phone call from Mom. The silence has been golden. Sandra keeps me updated sometimes on family news. Mom and Dad are struggling with the credit card debt, but they're managing to make minimum payments. Laura and Ryan had to move to a much cheaper apartment and give up some of their lifestyle luxuries. Sandra told me that Mom still tells people I'm the villain in this story, that I abandoned my family over money when they needed me most. Let her tell it however she wants. I know what really happened, and so do the people who matter. I don't miss the drama. I don't miss the constant lies. I don't miss feeling like an idiot for trusting people who were systematically taking advantage of me. My life in Portland is genuinely good now. My job is going great. I got promoted again last month. I'm making more money than I ever have, and now my beach house is actually generating income for me instead of just costing me money every month. Sometimes I think about flying down to Florida to see the house again, maybe visit with Cameron and Claire who send me photos occasionally. But honestly, I'm not ready to go back there yet. Too many painful memories associated with that place now. I learned something crucial from all this mess. Being family doesn't give people the right to take advantage of you, lie to you, or steal from you. And sometimes the people you trust most in the world are the ones who will hurt you the deepest. Would I handle it the same way if I had to do it over again? Absolutely. They made their choices, and I made mine. I'm not responsible for fixing their mistakes or paying for their poor decisions, especially when those mistakes involve systematically lying to me and profiting from my property. My beach house is in excellent hands now. Cameron and Claire send me photos regularly showing how well they're maintaining everything. They've even added some beautiful touches to the garden and keep the place absolutely immaculate. They're talking about maybe buying their own place somewhere nearby eventually, but for now they're perfectly happy renting from me. And honestly, so am I. Sometimes protecting yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. Thanks for listening, and if this story resonated with you, please share it with others who might need to hear it, and don't forget to comment and subscribe for more stories about family betrayal, finding your backbone, and learning when to walk away from toxic people even when they're family. Sometimes the hardest person to stand up to is the one you love most.